It is time for our local business review with Wendy Hendricks. She's always bringing in great guests. And Wendy, thanks for being here and bringing us a house full again. How are you today?
I am so excited. I have been waiting for this day because I wanted Brandon to be here in person.
In person, and he is here in person. And I just learned that Brandon's a musician on top of it, and everybody else knows that. I'm just new to the party. But Brandon is the owner of the Copper Pony. So thank you for being here, Brandon Johnson.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate that.
I watched a video, Wendy. I always think that you should have been a newscaster, too, in another life.
That is what I wanted to do growing up.
Me, too. Yeah. It was like the Princeton. Everybody in Princeton wanted to be a newscaster. But tell me a little bit about how you met Brandon.
Well, I met Brandon when he opened Copper Pony downtown, and my office was across the street from them. And I knew Josh from years ago in the marketing world. And one thing I love about downtown and our community overall is that we are a community. So I started, of course, going over there and shopping, and it quickly became my happy place. And
it is a happy place.
I often say I can't imagine what life was like before Copper Pony.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the perfect place to get the gifts that it's sort of like you go in there and go, oh my gosh, this would be perfect for so-and-so. Or, oh, how do they know this is exact? And there's such different items in there you just can't find anywhere.
Yeah, my family is a complete whole host of junkies.
Yeah.
It's always like, can't wait to get to Copper Pony. Spring is coming.
Well, then the fun part, too, is don't you have like a coffee shop like right up front with all the home-baked yummy? I know because I had a big pumpkin cookie when you guys first opened. Don't tell people at Livy. No, they're not going to. I can have a cookie every now and then. But yeah, I thought, oh, this is fun. They've got a coffee shop right in the front just to welcome everybody in.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, did you meet Lorraine at all with the St. Cloud Small Business Association at all when you were getting started?
We did not meet personally.
No?
I remember him floating in to meet with Barry, of course.
Of course. And then Barry came to her and then said, let's work together and figure out plans. But you did go there and talk with them a little bit?
We've actually been to the SBDC a couple of different times. The first time when we were moving from our garage into a brick and mortar space, and they really provided a great deal of support with a business plan and getting us ready to go to the bank. And then as we were ready to expand, we went back to them and they provided us with just instrumental support and help to get ready for that.
Now the location, talk about a great location, huh?
We got so lucky.
We
got
beautiful.
so lucky, yeah.
I mean, it totally makes that area, when you drive in and you see that, it's just beautiful. And it makes everybody go, this is where I live. You know, we're in Sauk Rapids.
And nighttime with the lights.
The trees.
You come over the bridge and you're just like, oh my gosh, I feel like someplace other than Sauk Rapids.
Yeah, it's a warm, welcoming. I just love what it's just really brightened that whole corner there. And that's what you see when you come to town right there.
Yeah, the city has been just incredible partners.
Yeah. So, Wendy, did you have anything to do with that? I know that you do real estate and business real estate.
No, not that location, but we had looked at some other locations and talked about that one.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit about how you started, from a garage to downtown and now to where you are now. Tell us kind of how that journey evolved. And they moved and they did all of this during the pandemic. And I also want to talk about your e-commerce. So this is kind of my message to businesses is how to start doing business differently and growing. And if I told Brandon, if they can grow during a pandemic, move into that beautiful location, how inspiring for other businesses.
Take it as a challenge, not, we're always going to have challenges, right? We might as well be positive and look at ways we can solve those problems.
So enlighten us.
Yeah, we want to be enlightened, Brandon.
Well, just a really quick historical background. Josh, who's my partner, really started in the garage on his own, doing vintage, kind of found items, some handmade stuff. He's an artist by trade, had kind of produced something that ended up getting featured on HGTV and then was also in a number of publications, invited to Barney's New York. So he's got a really great design background, and that's really where I think the creative piece stems from.
Yeah.
And then once I came into the picture, we just started building on those. And we moved out to the Clearwater area. We had a bigger garage, kept expanding our occasional sales until we got to a place of, we think we had about 200 people waiting to get in line. And we figured our neighbors would appreciate if at that point we could make this a legitimate thing. And so that's what really led us to SBDC. And then 2017 opened the brick and mortar in downtown St. Cloud, which was incredible and such a great incubator for us. The downtown businesses and neighbors were awesome, and we absolutely loved them and felt bad to leave there, but we also had a long-term vision to create more of a destination shop
And the coffee
with the
shop.
coffee shop and bakery in there. So in that, the space that we had downtown St. Cloud just wasn't going to allow us to realize that.
Expand where you needed to. And so now you have moved to the corner over there in Sauk Rapids.
We have. Yeah, we opened in September of this last year, and it has been just a whirlwind since.
Goodness.
The community has really responded positively, and we are so grateful for that.
It is stunning.
Yeah, it is
Stunning
so
location.
beautiful. So when I think about this, and you're both creative minds, right? You're a musician and everything else. So you start expanding and things are, is this the expansion? Is this where you wanted it to be? Or do you still have other ideas that you're wanting to take it?
Of course, we've got, world domination on that.
Yes.
World
They are an
domination.
entrepreneur.
Why
No,
not?
I mean,
That's the way it works.
we are just thrilled. Sometimes you have an idea and you really work hard at making it work, and something falls through and it just doesn't work out like you had hoped. And we are so blessed to be in this situation where this vision has come to life for us, and we're very, very grateful and appreciative for that. But we do have more that we want to do, and so I think exciting things potentially on the horizon for us yet.
Well, let's talk about the e-commerce. I mean, we were talking about during COVID, you're like, okay, this is time for us. If we're going to have downtime, we might as well put it to good use. Let's get to work. And so now we've got a website.
During the pandemic, you launched your e-commerce and your business
Mm-hmm.
actually went up significantly. So I started,
Wow.
I never intended to be on a weekly radio show and talking to businesses, but I just started talking to business owners that I knew and trying to inspire others to, as we've said, stop stopping, keep going and find new ways of doing business. And they are just the perfect example of that. So how did you evolve into the e-commerce?
Yeah, it's one of those things when you own a business, it's a 24/7, 365 days a year. And oftentimes when you're a small business, you wear all of the hats. Like you don't have a wide, deep team with all sorts of different expertise. And so for us, the e-commerce piece was something that we always really wanted, but we could never find the time to make it happen. When the state of Minnesota went into lockdown and we were required to shut our doors, we just took a moment to breathe. And at first we're like, okay, what are we going to do? And then we very quickly thought, if ever there was a time to flip the switch and try and do this, now is the time. And within a matter of like 48 hours, we just made it happen.
You just got to work.
We just got to work, and we thought, we're going to try it because this is our avenue to survive right now. We didn't know that we would end up thriving at that point, but we were really more in a, what can we do to make sure that this doesn't sink us?
Exactly.
And it really, really worked out well.
Now, something like that, though, also requires more work. And so now you are open again, bigger, better than ever before. Obviously, you must have some people in place to help you out because now you still got to do both, right? You got to make it all happen.
Yeah. So, the e-commerce platform was instrumental for us to survive that shutdown period. And it really pushed us to do some out-of-the-box thinking for events that we could host that would be online, that would really inspire people to engage with us with Facebook Live sales and that sort of thing, which we had never done before.
Yeah.
And it did create, new problems like shipping and handling and all sorts of things that you have to factor in there. But at the end of the day, as we were able to reopen, we still have an e-commerce presence, but it kind of has slid back into, now that people are more comfortable coming back out to the store, and we really are more of that tactile kind of destination space that people want to touch and feel the product. They want to smell it. They want to, interact with it a bit more than is available online. So we've really kind of slid back more into the predominantly being face-to-face sales, but that doesn't mean we can't still support people who may be wanting to engage from afar.
When you look at the items that you want to put in your store, do you have like a box? You're like, okay, we got to make sure, because you could have so many things, and you do. I mean, the store is huge, and every time you walk around another corner, you see something else that you've never seen before. But do you have to have like this box going, okay, we could fill this store so full, we've got to make sure that it meets these criteria before we put it in?
Yeah, the process is a creative process, and oftentimes it is molded by maybe a color story that has kind of come out in design, and that we really kind of use that as the foundation.
Yeah.
And then we start finding things that are going to help reinforce that story or that theme.
Yeah.
And then we just look for products and we start assembling it that way. And so each season is kind of informed by special themes.
Yeah.
And then underneath that, like I would say the base note underneath all of that would be those standard everyday household items that are never going to necessarily move out of the store, that you can just count on being there.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Like candles. I have a funny story. So
Okay.
they also do a really great job with social media. So when my office was across the street, one day they posted, I have it here, candles are the perfect boyfriend. They smell good. They don't hog the blanket. They're useful when the power goes out and easily replaceable.
I saw that when you said, I was like, what is she sending me?
You know what I started doing? So I went, when they posted it, I went over there and I said, I think Josh was there that day, and I'm like, pick out a candle. So now my thing is every time I go, whoever's working, I have them pick out the scent. And it's so fun because I get, otherwise we kind of get in our same things that we buy. So it's so fun. So
You love it.
But your social media is really good too. Their marketing is good.
Well, and that's part of it, right? It's staying in the community's eye, getting people's attention. I mean, there's competition out there. There's the World Wide Web. We don't live in an area with no people and no businesses. We've got a lot of businesses. Luckily, you've got a really unique piece of this market. There's just nothing like it, and it's so beautiful and welcoming when you come in.
Thank you.
That's really nice that I think that you have that. It's such a special thing.
Well, we believe every home should look, feel, and smell good. So part of what's behind all of the product selection are categories that help our customers be able to achieve a home that looks and feels and smells good.
Oh, I love this. This is so great.
And we've been talking about just supporting local business, and it is about relationships. Like you said, you launched the e-commerce, but now that people can come in, they want to go in. Like I said, Copper Pony's my happy place.
Yeah.
And like Dylan hugs me. He's the best hugger, and finally we could hug, after 2 years.
Now, who's Dylan?
Dylan is one of our managers within the store. He was employee number 1 outside of Josh, and so he's been with us for, I guess I would have to go back and look at the books to be for sure. But I think he's been with us since like 2018 or 2019.
He's fabulous. And I'm known to, like, very last minute, if I'm running to a wedding or shower or something, I literally will fly in there. Like, Dylan, I need something, now. And like, I'm on the way. Oh, when is it? Next week? No, I'm on the way there,
Yeah. Me and Wendy have a lot in common. I don't know what happened to us. I don't know if they just did that to us over there in Princeton.
She understands.
Oh, gosh, I so understand. It's funny because, like, every day I send her, can we have lunch today? And she's like, not today. And then she'll say, can we have lunch today? I'm like, not today.
Yeah.
We can't even make pre-plans to have lunch.
But we're coming to Copper Pony.
It's going to become the running joke with you guys because every time I'm on, I hear that we're going to do lunch. We're going to do,
and we still haven't.
And it still hasn't.
We still haven't. This is our time together. This is the one thing it's very important, we think, all of us, I think, to focus on local business. Here at Town Square Media, it's all we're about. We are all about our local businesses here in town, and we want to make sure that we all have great cooperation with them. And with St. Cloud State and the Small Business Administration over there, you guys are constantly looking at new ways to make sure that you can get businesses up and running and to keep them going. And I think that's such a key part to all of this, is that there's that resource for small businesses to get information that they may not have thought about before. You and I are musicians, right? We don't always necessarily want to do the books. We want to have fun and we want to feel comfortable.
That is the important piece, is to understand your limitations. I think that's very important for people to, I know a lot of times when people come in, they feel strapped because they have this dream, but at the same time, it's like, okay, but you need to understand your limitations so that you aren't stretched too far. And, that you get a good team around you, and in this day and age of freelancers, you can assemble a team and still have your autonomy, but
Yeah.
but at the same time, you can have a good, solid team helping you out. If marketing, bookkeeping, or whatever task is that task for you that you'd rather be working, on the parts of your business that you love.
Yeah, you can tell them how to find those people. Brandon, obviously you found it to be very beneficial to go there too because you went back more than once.
Absolutely. I mean, they're having an objective set of eyes, looking at your plans and poking holes at it so that it forces you to really think more deeply about your strategy was very helpful. I mean, I don't think we would have been prepared to answer the questions that the SBDC knew the bank was going to ask.
Oh,
had
yeah.
we not gone through that vetting process. And, it's not fun to have holes poked at your plan because it's your dream. But if you are really wanting to live into that dream, you have to be willing to sit with, okay, where are the weak spots? And have we thought through how we can survive these various challenges that are more than likely to arrive?
Yeah, there is a little bit of realism that has to come along with the dream, and that is we've got the passion to make this happen. We know we can, but we just need a little bit of nuts and bolts to help us keep us grounded here and make this last for years to come.
I agree. And entrepreneurs are just, they are so passionate and they are so married to that dream and, and they want to control.
Yeah.
And it's always refreshing when somebody comes in and they're willing to let us poke the holes into the plan and help you think through the things that maybe you hadn't given enough attention to.
And it can lead to great success.
One thing we haven't talked about quick is your Munsinger store.
Tell us. Yes, quickly. We got about a minute.
Okay, so last year we had the opportunity to apply for the RFP that the city puts out for the garden gift shop, and we were successful in securing that. So we had that for a period of 3 years. We launched last year. We're making some revisions for this year and really hoping to make that space sing a little bit more. And hopefully we'll be able to also deliver some fresh baked goods and coffee and whatnot there, really enhance that garden experience.
And it is lovely. I went there last year more than I have for years because they were there,
Oh, that's so great. Well, Brandon, thank you for coming in and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
It's so important to let people know that if you have a dream, you can make it happen, but just be realistic. Get over there to the Small Business Administration. Let them help you out. Talk to somebody like Wendy, help you find that space when you need it. We all can work together in our community to make it better for everybody.
Call me at Agency North Real Estate.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody.